In the last lecture, we have discussed the principle, construction, and material for thermocouple. Now, in this lecture, we will discuss the thermoelectric laws, advantage, disadvantages, and application of thermocouple. See, don't get confused with these thermoelectric laws and the laws which we have discussed in last lecture. Thomson effect, Peltier effect, and Seebeck effect. Those were the laws which were thermocouple is based on those laws. But these laws are related with the working of the thermocouple. So first law of thermoelectric law is a law of intermediate metal. See here, we know that thermocouple is made up of two dissimilar metal wires. See, in this case here, two wires are there. This is one wire and this is another wire. And two junctions are there. This is hot junction, this is cold junction. This hot junction is called as measuring junction and this cold junction is called as reference junction. So here two metals are there basically. But in order to measure the EMF in this circuit, we have to connect the meter in the thermocouple circuit. So for that purpose, we have to use a third metal that is called the intermediate metal. So this law is related with this intermediate metal. Now, what this law, statement of law is, the net EMF in the thermocouple circuit remains unaltered. Means there is no change in the EMF. If a third metal is introduced, see here, third metal is introduced, provided that the two junctions of the third metals are at same temperature. See here, this R and S, these are two new junctions are formed because of introduction of this third metal in the thermocouple circuit, provided that this R and S are maintained at same temperature. See, the EMF is induced in the thermocouple circuit, and even if we introduce third metal in the thermocouple circuit, there is no change in the EMF of this thermocouple circuit, provided the new junctions which are newly formed because of insertion of this third metal, they are maintained at same temperature. So this is all about this law of intermediate metal. See, what is the application of this law? Because of this law, we can connect a measuring instrument. So whatever EMF is induced in this thermocouple circuit, we have to measure it with the help of voltmeter, and this voltmeter is connected here by inserting the third metal. So we can measure the EMF because of this law. Then here, suppose two dissimilar metal wires are used for construction of thermocouple. See, suppose for example, one wire is made up of platinum and other wire is made up of platinum and rhodium, suppose. So here copper wires are also used, but what is the use of copper wire? These are used as a extension wires. See, because if we use platinum and rhodium up to this junction, then it is a costly affair. So instead of that, we can use the extension wire. So here also this third metal, that is copper, is introduced. But again, these two new junctions, they are maintained at same temperature. So we can use extension wire because of this law. Then another function is function of this law is, see here, this is a hot junction. Because of this is also called as measuring junction. Here two metals wires are welded. So if you use a different method for joining these two metals, such as brazing or so in that case we have to use another third metal here. So this is also again an introduction of third metal is introduced here in addition to these two metal. So this is also possible. We can join it with the help of brazing or soldering. And even if we introduce third metal here also, there is no change in the EMF. So this is all about this law. Then second important law related with the operation or working of the thermocouple is law of intermediate temperature. See, consider here first loop, two junctions are there. One junction is maintained at T1 and other junction is maintained at T2. So as per the Seebeck effect, EMF is introduced in this circuit, and suppose that EMF is E1. Now consider another loop or another thermocouple circuit in which two junctions are there. One junction is maintained at T2 and other junction is maintained at T3. And suppose EMF induced in this circuit is E2. Now let us consider here this T1. One junction is maintained at T1 and other junction is maintained at T3. So in this case, EMF induced is E3 and that is given by E1 plus E2. So this law is very important. Now what is the application of this law? See, for the working of the thermocouple, we have to maintain this reference junction at 0 degrees Celsius. This is called as reference junction and this is called as measuring junction. And whatever EMF is induced in the circuit is depend upon this temperature difference of hot junction and cold junction. And all the thermocouples are calibrated at 0 degree reference junction temperature. But in actual working, what happens? It is very difficult to maintain 0 degree Celsius temperature at reference junction. So suppose if that temperature is instead of 20 degree, if it is instead of 0 degree, if it is 20 degree. Now what happens? The EMF produced in the circuit is related with the hot junction temperature, and instead of 0 degree here 20 degrees there. So some EMF is lost because of that 20 degree to 0 degree temperature difference. So we have to add that EMF from the calibration tables, and this is how this law is applicable here. And because of this law, it is not necessary for us to maintain exactly 0 degree at reference junction. Even if that temperature deviated from 0 degree Celsius, still we can measure that lost EMF from the tables. And this is only possible because of this law. Now let us see here. Thermocouple is, we say that it is related with the point measurement, but it is not the case. If we use single thermocouple, it is used for point measurement, but we can use number of thermocouples. They are either connected in series or they are connected in parallel. Let us see the cases when thermocouples are connected in series and when they are connected in parallel. First case is when number of thermocouples are connected in series. In that case, what happens? Their EMF is added. That means E is the total EMF of the all thermocouples. And suppose 3 thermocouples are connected in series. So all the EMF of the individual thermocouples are added. So total EMF becomes E1 plus E2 plus E3. And when number of thermocouples are connected in series, or they form into the one single junction, and that is called as thermopile. Now what is the use of thermopile? Because see, when 3 thermocouples are joined together, the mass of the junction increases or thickness of the junction increases, and because of that the output of the thermocouple increases, or you can say that sensitivity of the thermocouple increases, but simultaneously it is associated with the drawback that its response deteriorates, or it gives slow response. So this is thermopile. Or sometimes thermocouples are connected in parallel. So what is the use of thermocouple when they are connected in parallel? They give average temperature. Instead of point temperature, they give the average temperature of the medium. So suppose 3 thermocouples are connected in parallel. So average EMF is given by E1 plus E2 plus E3 divided by 3. That means it is the average when all the thermocouples are connected in parallel. Let us see the advantages of thermocouple. See, it is cheaper than RTD. In the last lecture, we have discussed resistance thermometer, that is resistance temperature detector. It is a costly, so as compared to RTD, thermocouple is cheaper. Then there is no need of external source. Means this is the active type of transducer. There is no need of external supply. So this is a very big advantage of thermocouple. Then simple design. There is no complicated circuit is required for this. Then it is having good response. And it is suitable for fluctuating temperature. That means for dynamic conditions it is suitable. Then remote indication possible. See, this is very important feature of the thermocouple. Suppose you want to measure temperature in another room. So from different room also you can measure the temperature and you can monitor the temperature. So this is very important feature of the thermocouple. Rugged construction means it can sustain any environment. Then it is inexpensive as compared to RTD or other temperature sensors. The simple to use. Then there is no need of bridge circuit. We have already discussed for thermistor, RTD, or some other temperature sensor. There is need of bridge, but here there is no need of bridge circuit. Then another very important thing is it can be used for wide temperature range from -250 to 2800 degrees Celsius. See why thermocouple is very popular in industrial application, because of its wide temperature range. Then it is having good reproducibility. The disadvantages of the thermocouple is low accuracy, means whenever precision work is there, thermocouple is not preferred, so it cannot be used for very accurate work. Then we have to use protective enclosure for the thermocouple in order to ensure its long life. We can use bare wires also, but it affects the life of the thermocouple. So again here this is as such it is a disadvantage. Then another important for working of thermocouple is you have to maintain reference junction constant. See here this is hot junction, this is cold junction. Here you have to maintain a 0 degrees Celsius, or at room you have to maintain this temperature constant. So this is a tedious job. Then temperature less than 30 degree produces very small output, and in general also the output of thermocouple is very less. It is in the order of millivolt or microvolt. So and below 33 degree that output is very small, so it is difficult to detect that output. So generally it is not used for negative temperature measurement. Then it require amplifier, as you know that the output of thermocouple is very small. Amplifier is necessary required for in the circuit. Then temperature voltage relation is not linear. So linearity, on the linearity basis also there are problems in thermocouple. And drift occur, as this is the active type of transistor. So normally for active transistor, drift problem generally appears. So let us again see applications to monitor temperature of liquids or gases, then fluid flowing in pipes and ducts, then industrial furnaces. Then cryogenic application means for negative temperature around -200 degrees Celsius, that can be also measured. Then for lab instruments we can use the thermocouple. Okay, so this is about thermocouple. I hope understood this important temperature sensor.